Unacademy. Let's crack it.
हेलो एवरीवन, आप सभी का स्वागत है अनअकैडमी में। आप सभी को जैसे पता है कि लगातार कई सारे हमने सेशंस डिस्कस किए हैं और जो टॉपर्स हैं इस बार के सिविल सर्विस एग्ज़ाम के, उनसे हमने बहुत सारी चीज़ें सीखी हैं। इसी सीरीज़ में आज हमारे साथ हैं बाला नागेंद्रन, जिन्होंने ऑल इंडिया रैंक 659 स्कोर किया है। फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल कॉन्ग्रेट्स बाला। इनका जो ऑप्शनल है वो पब्लिक एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन है। So let's start, and we will try to understand the strategy that he has followed for his optional, for his GS subjects and all. So I welcome you, Bala Nagendran. First of all, congrats for scoring this rank. Hello, Bala.
Hello, sir, and hi to everyone. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for this opportunity, and best wishes to all those who have cleared this year.
Okay. So, Bala, we came to know that you are a big fan of Roman sir. Would you like to say something about him?
Yeah. Actually, since he started the YouTube channel in the year 2014, when he was at the National Administrative Academy itself,
Okay.
I've been a follower of the channel, and as a matter of fact, technically, my fourth attempt happened to be the first attempt because that's where I've learned to strategize myself, and Dr. Roman Saini had played a pivotal role in that.
Okay.
I think that's the first year I've cracked the prelims after 3 failed attempts in my prelims itself. So Roman Saini sir happens to be the first influence, and then there are few, like I would like to make a special mentioning here that Bhumika Saini ma'am, who was doing geography at that time, and Ayush Sanghi sir. I extremely like his the way he explains things, Ayush Sanghi sir. So I'm a fan of many other faculties who have been Faiz Khan sir, who has done important 100 topics at least 1.5 years ago. So those things were of paramount significance in my preparation.
Okay, that's great. So, Bala, when you thought to prepare for the examination, in the sense you thought, okay, let's move, means from college level, you have decided like let's aim for this the civil service exam and crack this exam and play a very important role in transforming the society and playing an important role in overall country's development. So when you first thought that came in your mind to go for this particular exam and crack it, when you thought this thing?
Actually, it was a childhood fantasy. First time the term Indian Administrative Service, or simply IAS, was introduced to me when I was 6 years old by my teachers.
Okay.
From then on, it has started, but the exact burning desire that crept in my mind since my high secondary level, 11th and 12th standard, when I was in that class, I've started dreaming, what would I do to become, what would I do if I become an IAS officer? And then when I was doing my graduation at Loyola College, there was a St. Ignatius IAS Academy that trained people. And as a trial, I have given the entrance test.
Mm-hmm.
And I have secured the first rank in that entrance test. And that motivated me first. I would be able to do.
Okay, that's great. So you choose public administration as your optional. Public administration as your optional. So any specific reason for it? That why you choose public administration? Is it like that will make you a better administrator, or it is because of some interest?
Actually, the title of the optional subject itself kindled my interest, because public administration. As a civil servant, we are going to serve to the public, and we are going to be administrative officers. So both there is a blend I have seen. And as a person from a commerce background, I found it somewhat public administration to be my domain, because in terms of management and administration, they go hand in hand.
Okay.
So when I read the syllabus for the first time, the syllabus itself proved to be a little bit compatible to me, and I was able to strategize myself for that for the optional preparation, so that the subject and the syllabus is the sole reason behind that. And of course, public administration plays an important role in molding someone to be an administrator, because we know the functional aspects of all the government machineries before we enter into the actual system.
Okay, that's great, Bala. So the kind of strategy that you have followed for your optional, like whether you have focused on the basic books or the traditional books that we read for public administration, or you went for what we call it as the coaching institute notes. What was your strategy relating to your optional?
Essentially, it was like following the traditional books. I have followed especially the IGNU material related to public administration,
Okay.
and the journals of Indian Institute for Public Administration, IIPA, previously.
Okay.
Then slowly I've switched over to Pawan sir's class notes.
Okay.
That happened to be the trendsetter in my preparation.
Mm-hmm.
And apart from that, real-time information from current affairs by reading news every day and segregating and assorting the news as per the subject requirement. So somewhat I feel that I'm good at that. So it paved a way for that.
Okay, that's great. In paper one, public administration paper one means many students, they say that paper one is difficult in comparison to paper two. But when you see your score, you are able to score higher in paper one in comparison to paper two. Why this kind of thing is there? If paper two is easy, it is kind of related with polity and governance. So why students are able to means they are not able to score very high in paper two? Is it so, or it can vary from student to student?
In my view, since the beginning, I have been writing 6 mains consecutively.
Okay.
6 main exams. So in each main, my paper one score happened to be higher than paper two. The reason behind that might be I might have been somewhat losing the relevance in paper two because we feel that there is an overlap between Indian polity and Indian administration. And the most of the time, people used to take that paper two for granted. If I have to use the phrase, taking paper two for granted, because the subjects mentioned in the syllabus seems in consonance with the Indian polity.
Yes.
But there is a distinction. There is a distinction when you approach GS to Indian polity and when you approach public administration paper two. So you shouldn't make the paper look like GS paper when you are writing the optional paper. And that's where somewhere I am also committing some sort of errors. And in terms of paper one, it's a theoretical aspect, and it is the understanding of the entire concept, entire discipline. And since the beginning, I felt good. I'm fascinated by various thinkers and what they try to say. So that makes me good in terms of paper one compared to paper two. Of course, individual understanding of the paper also plays a pivotal role there.
So, would you like to mention few books that all students who wants to opt for public administration, they should surely read those books?
I would suggest IGNU materials.
Okay.
BA, you can download as per the syllabus.
Okay.
And next, the new horizons of public administration by author Mohit Bhattacharya sir.
Okay.
Then for thinkers, administrative thinkers by Prasad and Prasad, I read this book. As a matter of fact, I read this book twice in a year. I love this book. Apart from preparation, I love this book.
Okay, that's great.
And then for Indian administration, I read Fadia and Fadia selective chapters.
Okay.
And Lakshmikant sir's governance.
Okay.
Then the reports of Administrative Reforms Commission.
Okay, ARC report. So there are so many ARC means there are many reports under Second Administrative Reform Commission. So shall we read all the reports or very few reports or selective reports?
Actually, while we are reading it for the first time, I would suggest to read all the reports so that we can have a notes. We cannot keep all the reports intact while preparing. While reading the reports, we must take notes because each report carries a bulky amount of pages. So I kept around 4 to 5 pages per report.
Okay.
So around 15. So it comes around 70 to 75 pages. I comprised every report of Administrative Reform Commission. And hence that helps me. I can go through all the reports, and I suggest every aspirant to go through all the reports so that they can have extra information while they're writing the answer.
Okay. Yes. Like we can. I think the question in paper GS paper. This public administration paper 2. There must be certain section from which the question can be asked from Administrative Reform Commission report directly.
Absolutely.
So let's move to GS paper 4. So what kind of a strategy you followed for GS paper 4?
Actually, this is the only paper I felt in the past 5 mains that I just want to go off. As soon as I start approaching answers, I just want to finish the paper and go off the hall. But this year, my trainees, my mentors who have trained me,
Okay.
have evaluated my performance there, because there are some strategy that you follow. One, you need to first know the concepts. Concepts you can learn from. I have read lexicon book, so from cover to cover. I have taken the notes of important concepts from there.
Okay.
And then we can have real-time examples, real-life examples. And I would suggest the aspirants, whenever they write GS4 paper, they can quote as many examples as possible to make their answers look catchy.
Okay.
So that, because ethics, integrity, and aptitude, all three are the important components of each and every individual's life that exist in family, in society, and everywhere. So we can quote the examples there while writing the answer. And that's how I followed. And last but not the least, whenever we express the examples, whenever we express our point of view, we must look forward to express in a positive connotation rather than negative connotation.
Okay. And what about the we can cover our theory portion of GS paper 4 through books like lexicon and as you suggested. So what about the case studies? So what approach we should follow for the case studies? Case studies, how we should practice, and what should be our approach towards case study?
We can take in many case studies from the newspapers, and there are some books. I have taken the case studies from Subbarav's books. He has provided ample amount of studies where I've solved.
Okay.
First of all, we should analyze the case, facts of the case,
Okay.
then issues and non-issues of the case. Like issues in the sense short-term issues, long-term issues.
Okay.
And by keeping those short-term and long-term issues, we can come to the conclusion by means of our observation as an authority, or what it is asked in the what would we do.
Okay. That's great. And there is also some doubt relating to how we should approach the case study in general, like how we are writing the case study. So what you suggest, whether we should follow an ideal approach or we should go with a practical approach? Practical approach simply means, like as you said, you are a public administration student. So whether we should consider the administrative constraint while solving the case study or writing the case study, some suggestions or solution, or when you are writing or attempting the case study, what should we do?
Yes, I would like to answer upon this by citing the example itself.
Yes.
In the completed mains exam, there was a study about disaster management, and there was an attack on the officials because they have reached the spot late.
Okay.
In that, what would we do? What are the options we have? As an official, I feel like we need not have to file a complaint against those who have attacked the officials, because they are already in a dreadful situation. As an authority, we can ensure that the team is secure and they are not vulnerable to any other violence. And in the meantime, we must ensure that the basic needs of those who are suffering from the disaster is met. And in my sense, we have to go from idealistic to practicality. We cannot omit anything. Only looking from the practical perspective won't help. If you look from the ideal perspective alone, that also won't suffice.
Okay, that's great. That's great. So let's move to GS paper 3. So in GS paper 3, there are certain sections. Maybe when you talk about economy, so many students, they know the sources that need to be followed to complete that part of syllabus related to economy and all. But there are certain sections, like we can talk about agriculture, we can talk about science and technology, we can talk about internal security, cyber security, or border management. These are certain sections which are untouched. Students in general, they ignore these these sections. So how you approached all these sections? What was your strategy and the aim that you decided to to complete these sections? Like, okay, I have to score this much in this section, or I can tackle such kind of questions if they are asked from this section. So what was your strategy relating to GS paper 3, mainly relating to with these sections?
Actually, GS paper 3, perhaps I would like to say this is somewhat the easiest papers among all four, where we can score some sort of
That's great. That's great.
better than the rest of the papers.
Okay. Okay.
As far as my strategy is concerned, I followed Unacademy, agriculture and science and technology, security, cybersecurity.
Okay. Okay.
So plain and simple. So I had all the sources, all the information necessary.
Okay.
Even for border management, I have followed Academy.
Okay.
And for economics, I am a student of commerce. I have my economic basic notes, and I would like to suggest to follow the Tamil Nadu State Board book of 11th and 12th economics before we read NCERT and any strategy, any traditionals.
Okay.
So
Okay.
that book has given me the conceptual clarity. The State Board books of Tamil 11th and 12th.
Okay. Okay.
And especially in that sections, first of all, for any GS question, we need to understand the structure.
Mm-hmm.
We need to understand the structure, what is being asked.
Okay.
And then the content will follow.
Okay. Like for example, take an example from agriculture. So I think in 2016 or 17, there was a question like, what is allelopathy and
Allelopathy forming.
Yes. So these are very technical questions. Either we take agriculture as a part of economy, or we take agriculture as a part of geography. So this is the approach that we follow. Yes, Bala. Yes, you're audible. You're audible.
Keep my audio. Tap to activate.
Yes, I can see.
Okay.
Bala.
Can you hear me?
There is a voice breakage in your case.
Yeah. Actually, we were talking about allelopathy forming in 2016.
Yes. What I'm saying, Bala, there is a voice breakage in your case. So please.
Shall we restart, sir?
Yes, we can.
You've been asking.
Audio is not clear from your side. Please check it. Audio is not clear from your side.
Am I audible now?
Audible. Yes, audible, but there is an issue with the audio. There is an issue, small issue with the audio. Means voice breakage is there. A lot of voice disturbance is there. Say something, Bala. Say something so that I can hear. Hello.
Can you hear me? Is it fine?
I can hear you, but there is again an issue with audio.
Wait. Actually, there shouldn't be.
Small disturbance. Audio issue. Visibility is fine. Only issue with the audio.
No. Actually, I have taken the headsets off and I have reconnected.
Now it's fine. Now it's great. So as we were discussing about agriculture, so there are certain subject-specific questions relating to agriculture. So you followed any kind of special strategy, or you covered this agriculture as a part of economy or geography?
Actually, fortunately for me, that allelopathy question I have heard from a lecture.
Okay.
So once upon a time, I was listening to a lecture where an agricultural expert was talking about this.
Okay.
So that has helped me. And in the meantime, for traditional questions, for these static questions, we need to look into some sort of materials. Like for me, agriculture, I have followed the geography materials from where I have taken some notes. Mm-hmm. And there were some of my friends who have done their graduation in agriculture. So I have some of their notes also. Mm-hmm. So it has helped me. So we can go through such static preparation before we take up the actual connection with the current affairs.
Okay. How important current affairs is for GS paper 3? Whether we should focus only on static aspect, or we should also try to derive static aspect from the current affairs?
Actually, we should know the static aspect by preparing the basics. Actually, in Unacademy, that's what is taught first. Learn the basics, everything will fall in place.
Okay, yes, that's
So, first, we must be strong in our basics, and so the static portion will be in our hands.
okay.
We must interlink that with the current affairs, and current affairs is also must. Even I feel that this year,
Okay.
I have less quoted the current affairs. I feel I wasn't given the current affairs so strong. That's what the reason behind the 659, or else I could have been somewhere higher than what I have got.
Okay.
So we shouldn't make such errors. So current affairs and static.
Okay.
Learning current affairs from static is important than learning static from current affairs.
Okay, that's great. So in GS paper GS paper 2, I think as you have public administration as an option, so I think polity is not a big deal for you. Even the governance part you must have covered.
Yes.
So although there are certain section in the governance part itself, like self-help group, the statutory, non-statutory bodies. So have you followed any kind of notes or some other sources relating to it to complete this part of governance?
Yes, for self-help groups and that stuff, I have taken some notes from Ram Ahuja sir's social problems.
Okay.
And then I have Googled it for any material that I am unable to access. I have Googled.
Okay.
So self-help groups, even this international relations, everything, the subjects that I didn't get from the book, I have Googled. So I've surfed in the internet, and I'm completely fine with GS2 when we.
So for IR also you followed that strategy, international relation, like you.
For international relation, I kept the newspaper intact.
Okay.
I think that's the primary source for me.
Okay.
At the same time, there was a book, there was a material from National Open School,
Okay.
which I have downloaded from runal.org.
Okay. Okay.
So where Mrunal sir has compiled and given the India and the world PDFs, which talks about various India's relationship with the rest of the countries.
Okay. Okay.
So I have I had the gist in terms of basic understanding,
Okay.
and I have enveloped it. I have expanded with the current affairs.
Okay. There are certain questions from the static aspect as well. Like for example, I think there was a question asked about balance of power. There are certain questions are like variable sum game, zero sum game. Not this year, means few years back, such questions.
Yes, international relations is not a zero sum game.
Yes. So zero sum game and these things. So these are such topics that we have to cover in detail. Like even if you talk about India's foreign policy, so we have to focus on certain aspect like Gujarat doctrines or activist policy, or we can say neighborhood first policy, and all these things need to be covered. So will you suggest like for international relation we should only focus on current affairs, or we should also focus on static aspect as well, few aspect, foreign policy and all small things?
Yes, for that, as I've said in the beginning, National Open School material helped me to learn Indian foreign policy as from the static perspective. And I have I read the lectures that are uploaded in the Ministry of External Affairs website. Some important lectures, important topics. For example, India's nuclear technology, India's civil nuclear liability, India's geopolitical interest on South China Sea,
Indian Ocean Reserve Association,
Indian Ocean Rim Association. So India's interest in Arctic Circle. So all these things I have gathered from Ministry of External Affairs.
Okay.
And there is another website called South Asia Analysis. That also provides you some insights where we can have some small notes. And for static, yes, of course. For me, I have used National Open School material.
Okay. So let's move to GS paper 1. So
Yes.
I think when any of the students who thinks to to clear this exam, either he or she will start with history or geography, So that is the, I think, biggest challenge. If they start reading history, someone will suggest that you should read 10 books, 8 books, 9 books, this way. So what was your strategy relating to history and subjects like geography? Because
Yes, first for history, for modern India, I love Bipin Chandra's book.
okay, Bipin Chandra book.
Yes. I read it. I read not only as a part of preparation.
Okay.
I read it whenever I feel bored because I love the way he has written. I love the vocabulary. I love the flow.
Okay.
I enjoy reading that book.
Okay.
So I have modern India intact. For art and culture, I have my notes from CCRT website.
CCRT, yes.
And also, there were materials in Ronaldo.org. I've downloaded the PDF.
Okay.
And unfortunately, forgive me, I am unable to remember the faculty name of a name in Unacademy.
Okay.
From where I have prepared art and culture, some important topics like dance, music,
okay,
language, literature, and so on. I have grabbed from Unacademy only.
Okay.
And for world history, I've listened to Dr. Roman Saini sir's orientation years ago.
Okay.
Then I have used Vision material. Vision is academic material for world history.
Okay.
And again, Ronald.org, where Ronald sir has compiled those world history materials. That's nice.
Yes.
And for geography, yes, geography happens to be one of the difficult areas in my preparation.
yes.
For that, I have used How to Read Maps, the lecture given by Roman Saini sir.
Okay, that's great.
I have learned from that how to read maps. Then Bhumika Saini ma'am, who has laid the foundation for my geography understanding.
Okay.
And then I have read Majitu Singh sir's book.
Okay, Majitu Singh sir. Yes.
So, yeah. So all the Unacademy, Romani sir and Bhumika Saini, then Majitu Singh, and some lectures of Ronald.org in terms of geography.
And what about the NCRTs, class 11, 12th NCRTs, GC Leong, and all those things?
Yes, that's an inevitable part. Actually, as an aspirant, we must read NCRT. That's why I did mention.
Okay. I think we should start with NCRT, and then we can, we can.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, that's great. So
NCRT, the door opener. NCRT must be it.
So let's discuss about the answer writing practice. I think that is this is the most difficult task for every student. Each and every student, either they will write, means initially they will think, okay, I should write answers daily. They will write for a few days, 6-7 days, and then they will think first I should complete the syllabus and then I should write the answer. What is your strategy relating to answer writing? How should we approach? Shall we make answer writing as a part, or we can say as a part of our daily routine, or we should write after 3-4 days, 5 days, or in a week we should attempt a mock test? How should we approach?
Initially, I would suggest writing 2 questions, minimum 2 questions a day.
Okay.
Because first, when
Yes, Bala, I can hear. Yes, please proceed. Hello. Yes.
Yeah, can you hear me? Sorry. In between there was a breakage.
Yes, I can hear.
Talking about answer writing, I would suggest every day, at least in the beginning, every day there has to be at least 2 questions.
Okay.
Has to be written.
Okay.
Because I would suggest that if we are the freshers, if we are preparing to give next year's mains, let's say example 2021 mains.
Okay.
So from now on, we can start writing 2 questions per day.
Okay.
Forget about the content.
Yes.
Know what you write.
Yes.
You write what you know.
Okay.
But be careful about the structure. What is being asked and how to deliver.
Okay.
So you have to break the questions into components and respond to it.
Okay.
First, understand the structure.
Okay.
And once you are strong with the basics, and once you know know the integration between static and the current affairs,
Okay.
you will be able to provide a very good content. The
Okay.
first understanding should be the structure.
Okay. So for answer writing, we should focus on structure, means presentation, content part, presentation part, but we should write daily. I think on this point,
Yes.
on this part we can agree.
Yes, we should write daily, minimum 2 questions in the beginning,
Okay.
and then it has to be improved. It has to be improved. Once, actually, in my preparation, I started from 2 questions,
Okay.
and as the main approach, I spent 3 hours every day. I have written at least 10 questions.
Okay. Okay. That's great. That's great. So as you are aware that this year the prelims will be held, I think, on October 4th. So
Yes.
is there any message from your side to all aspirants, like how they should approach for the prelims, and what they should keep in their mind, and how they should motivate themselves? This is the, I think, biggest task in front of them. They have to motivate themselves, because there are means there is a rumor also that whether this prelims will be held on 4th October or not, these kind of things. But most probably the prelims will be there on October 4th. So what is your message to all the aspirants?
First and foremost thing is believe in yourself.
Yes.
You have taken up the task, bold decision. You have spent your valuable time, energy, and parents' money, blood, sweat.
Okay.
So keep those things in mind.
Okay.
And forget about whether it is it going to be October 4th or November 4th.
Okay.
That doesn't matter. Whenever is there, you're going to answer CSAT as well as GS.
Okay.
So only focus on that.
Okay.
And the next thing is keep the previous year questions of the exam and prepare from there.
Okay.
I hope all of you are revising now. All of you are in the stage of revision.
Mm-hmm.
So keep your revision intact and read the PYQ, previous year questions.
Mm-hmm.
Second thing is try to integrate your static with current affairs. As I've been saying for mains, the same goes for quiz also.
Mm-hmm.
And last thing, eat, sleep, read, repeat.
Repeat. Yes. Yes. That's great. So again, it's nice talking to you, Bala, and we all have learned a lot. The kind of strategy that you have followed for this exam, I think this will help each and every aspirant. So thank you so much, Bala, for joining us and sharing your experience and strategies with the students. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much to Unacademy. Thanks for this opportunity, because I've been longing to speak with Unacademy for 4-5 years since I've learned Roman Sinisters. And my kudos to Tara of Unacademy.
Bala, if you want to speak something about Unacademy or Roman Sinisters, you can speak. You can say something if you have anything to convey.
Actually, initially it was like when he has started the Unacademy, there was full of free courses. Like he says, if you feel like contributing something,
Okay.
you are very much welcome to do. And other than that, Unacademy is free, and now it is free and plus, but both of them happens to be same in terms of quality, so that it helps those who can afford and those who can't. So that's the nice strategy. Actually, if I have cleared this year, Unacademy has a very important role, and I will continue to follow Unacademy, and looking forward to be together with it.
Okay, that's good. That's good. Thank you so much, Bala. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
So जैसा आपने देखा इस पूरे डिस्कशन में जो प्रिपरेशन था, उस प्रिपरेशन में जो बेस्ट पार्ट था कि एक कॉम्बिनेशन मेथड को अप्रोच किया गया है. वीडियो लेक्चर भी है, देखा, गूगल से भी चीजें सर्च की, बुक्स भी पढ़ी, तो हमें भी थोड़ा सा इन चीजों को ध्यान में रखना है कि स्मार्ट स्टडी की तरफ जाना है. अगर आप आईएएस एग्जाम की तैयारी कर रहे हैं तो आप अनअकैडमी से जुड़ सकते हैं. इंडिया के टॉप 80+ एजुकेटर्स आपको लाइव पढ़ाते हैं, और आपको करना क्या है, आपको किसी एक एजुकेटर को, एक कोर्स को ज्वाइन नहीं करना, आपको अनअकैडमी का एक जो कॉम्प्रहेंसिव पैकेज है वो लेना है 1 ईयर या 2 ईयर्स का. पूरे 2 साल तक जितने भी कोर्सेस आएंगे वो सब आप देख सकते हैं. तो आपके पास ऑप्शन है, यू कैन गो फॉर प्लस, यू कैन गो फॉर आइकॉनिक. बट आइकॉनिक का सबसे बड़ा बेनिफिट ये है कि आपको एक पर्सनल कोच असाइन रहेंगे. पूरे प्रिपरेशन के दौरान आपको एक मेंटर असाइन रहेंगे, जो कि आपके एक प्रकार से आपके लिए स्टडी प्लानर भी रहेंगे और पर्सनलाइज्ड फीडबैक भी आपको देंगे. अनअकैडमी से जुड़ने के लिए यू कैन यूज दिस कोड, दैट इज SPLIV. कोड का इस्तेमाल करोगे, अमाउंट विल रिड्यूस बाय 10%. और आप मेरे कोर्सेज तो कर ही सकते हैं, साथ में दूसरे सभी कोर्सेज भी आपके लिए फ्री होंगे। सो थैंक यू एवरीवन, मिलते हैं एक नए सेशन में, एंड लेट्स क्रैक इट।